I'd even rather watch a Hogan match than this.
I am the master.
Yeah.
And the ruler.
Yeah.
Of the world.
Yeah. I think 3 words in each question. Then back into a camel clutch, because clearly that's exciting and clearly that's what we want to see in our wrestling. Let's just hold them in a goddamn camel clutch forever.
Hello, wrestling fans! My name is Dom and I am not having a fit. This is the introduction to the Gimme a Whole Year Wrestling podcast. A monumental introduction, in fact, because we are in your house. In fact, we are in your house. This is like some meta stuff because we are, I presume, in your house right now. On your computers, or your iPads, or your smartphones, or your VHS ready television, because technology.
Or in your car. People can listen to us in the car.
People can listen to
we
us
are
in the
actually
car.
everywhere on the internet.
We are all up in your business. This is in your house number 1.
Yes, 1995, May the 14th in Syracuse, New York. I've never heard of Syracuse.
Yeah.
But a shout out to everyone there. Thank you. I don't know.
Syracuse.
UK number 1 film. Let's get you. I'm Ant, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Irrelevant.
UK number 1 film at the time was Crimson Tide, a submarine film with Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Both massive fans of the channel. Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington. I don't know if you knew that.
Didn't know that.
UK number 1 at the time. 7 weeks at number 1 this was. I remember this being all over the place. Was Robson and Jerome with Unchained Melody and White Cliffs of Dover.
How's that go?
Unchained Melody.
Yeah.
Whoa, my love, my darling, I hunger
Oh yeah.
for your
I
touch.
hunger for
Hello.
your touch.
Like,
Hello.
so me and Dom have reenacted the scene from Ghost many a time where we have a clay pot and you're working it and I come behind you and start working it as well, and it's an innuendo of stuff. Yeah,
All right,
yeah, that's it. Happens in Ghost. Yeah. So why are we doing these sub pay-per-views, Dom? Because they're an interesting part. There's some really good stuff that happens in your house, and I can't wait to cover some of that stuff.
There's some good stuff that's happening in your house right now. While you're listening to us, you want our fantastic tones to accompany your sleeping, your lovemaking, your video gaming, and anything else. All right.
Why did WWF do these pay-per-views?
Baby.
It was a response to WCW. So WCW would increase the amount of pay-per-views that they were doing over the year, and WWF wanted to follow that. So they created In Your House, which was initially half the price to buy of one of the big 5 pay-per-views.
This is also the most successful of all the In Your Houses.
Correct, it was, yeah. There was 332,000 people buying the pay-per-view, which was really good numbers at the time. So it was half the price, and it was a shorter show. This one's only 1 hour and 40 minutes. In Your House went on until 1999, which the last one, I believe, was Backlash In Your House, which is when WWF wanted to start having regular named shows on their thing, as opposed to In Your House, which was a bigger thing. Quite interesting stuff. Mm-hmm. Quite interesting stuff. Good for them. What were the big 5 at the time, Dom, in terms of other
Would have been King of the Ring, would have been Survivor Series, would have been WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, and
SummerSlam.
Very
good. I didn't think you'd get the King of the Ring one, but very good, yeah.
OMG, Anthony.
OMG. Look at you, like a wrestling researching fan.
I've only been a wrestling fan for like most of my life.
So there's 28 In Your Houses in total, and guess where they are all going to be covered? Right here on this channel.
Right here in Hull, East Yorkshire.
So if you want to listen to all the In Your House reviews that we do, please hit that subscribe button. Please. Leave us a like. That really helps out the channel.
Pay us attention.
You can also support us on Patreon, or if you can't support us like that and you want some stuff for your money,
drop us a like.
We're on Redbubble.
Oh yeah, Redbubble. Yeah, you can get some sweet mugs.
Or a t-shirt.
Or a t-shirt.
Anything really helps out the channel, but even just communicating with us on Facebook and Twitter.
Tell us how much
really
you like
helps.
us or don't.
Really helps. We've got some good stuff on Facebook.
Makes us feel all warm inside, doesn't it?
It does. It does, and we've had some really nice stuff actually recently. We had a guy leave us a comment. Let's talk a little bit about the Facebook. We've had
Facey B.
A really nice bloke leave us a comment.
A really nice bloke.
Why can't I remember
really
his
nice
name
bloke
right
on
now?
that there Facebook.
That there Facebook.
Has left us a nice comment
Left
about
us a
our
nice
Facebook
message.
page.
Sent us a nice message.
Because we're well liked and all that. The people like to keep it gay with us here at Gimme All Year Wrestling Podcast.
You're truly Yorkshire today, aren't you?
And I feel very grateful to them people. Cheers, like.
It's like, cheers.
Appreciate it.
So it was Danny French that left us some really nice messages.
Yeah,
so
cheers.
a massive thank you to
Danny
Danny.
French, mate.
Really appreciate that,
We
man.
appreciate you.
And we had a nice chat about stuff. And hopefully, like I say, if you join the Facebook, you'll be able to communicate with us in the
about
future,
them
post up some
NXT
predictions.
tag titles. And
With the NXT tag titles, yeah, we had a post up about that the other day. I really like them.
They look like ECW belt rejects, mate.
Yeah, you don't like them, do you?
No,
I think
don't.
they look like a classic title. And in fact,
Wow.
Lee Flanagan said they look better than literally every main roster title apart from the Intercontinental title, which I'd agree with.
You're a classic bottom hole.
Thank you. There was also Ollie Harvey who said that they look kind of retro, but not great, but way better than the red monstrosity. I can again agree with that.
No.
Okay.
I don't agree.
I like them. I think the NXT tag team titles UK look amazing. And speaking of tag team events, let's talk about the first event of this. Let's talk about the commentators. Vince McMahon, Doc Hendricks. Doc Hendricks?
Indeed.
Who's Doc Hendricks, Dom?
Doc Hendricks is Michael Hayes.
Michael P.S. Hayes, who still works for the company.
Indeed.
Well, we need to cover
He
him.
does alright, actually. He has a couple of in-ring matches later on.
He does?
With the Hardy Boys, in fact.
He was the early manager for the Hardy Boys when they first come through. Yeah, great. So can't wait to talk about him more in the future. First match, Bret Hart versus Hakushi with Shinja.
I was going to say, you said tag match. I was like, it ain't a tag match.
It ain't a tag match. It's because it was
I was
Hakushi and
freaking out.
Shinja.
I was having a moment there. I was like, oh no.
Oh, don't watch the wrong pay-per-view again.
Oh no, I don't watch the wrong pay-per-view again.
Hakushi.
Oh my god. I really liked Hakushi. I remember freaking
amazing.
Myth out.
He looked like Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Man, yeah,
Didn't he?
I bet they were taking it. They were taken from Raiden massively. They were lifting.
Oh yeah, man, with his white straw hat.
He was great and actually had a decent face run against Jerry Lawler after all this.
Yep.
Hakushi, I'd love to know what he was doing now. I used to think the tattoos were real.
We need to research him because we haven't researched him.
So we went to do that, and then we're gonna bring him in because he's in future stuff. He's in future stuff. He's a pretty heavy fixture for a little while.
He also had the painted tattoos all over his body in a similar way to Matt Bloom did when he was Tensai.
Yeah, I thought they were real, so I was like proper scared of Hakushi back in the day.
He was also undefeated.
Really good showing.
It was really good.
Really good showing for him.
He was undefeated at this point, so going in a match with Bret Hart, that's sort of a big deal. Hart cuts a promo before the match on how Jerry Lawler is next due to the fact that Bret is having 2 matches on one card. I don't really understand why they did that. I don't think there was enough talent. There was enough talent to go around without having Bret Hart in 2, but it was quite an interesting storyline throughout the pay-per-view, so I sort of appreciate it. Later on, obviously, he's fighting Jerry Lawler, and in the next promo he dedicates the match to his mother on Mother's Day, so Bret Hart says it's for his mother's on Mother's Day. That's
lovely.
This comes up over and over again.
Yeah, Jerry Lawler does quite a heelish thing with that later on.
There's a really personal sad story as well later on, which we'll get to, so if you're enjoying it, please stick with us and we will get to all that stuff. A really personal story from one of the wrestlers in one of these promos, actually. A sign in the crowd saying, "I want to be like Bret." Not these days, you don't, buddy.
What's wrong with Bret?
Bret, he's just a bit angry, isn't he? He's a bit angry about everything, don't you think? Whenever you hear any interviews, he's like, having a go at Seth Rollins and stuff. And
is he?
Yeah, he was having a go at Seth Rollins about the whole Sting thing and being like too much in the ring and stuff like that. And yeah, he's a bit bitter these days, a bit angry. The match starts off with a lot of arm lock chain wrestling and running the ropes with Hakushi showing off his athletic skill. Hakushi, man, was awesome.
He does this wicked
Shoulder
flip,
barge.
elbow thing into the corner.
Really sweet.
Really great moves.
Some nice
very
Irish...
underrated, actually, I think, on the whole.
He was, yeah. Some really nice Irish whip spots with Brett really throwing himself into the turnbuckles, with Hakushi able to take to the air for some lovely splashes. There was some great air work here from Hakushi constantly. We get to see a very early Bronco Buster from Bret Hart in the corner. I think that's the first time that we've seen that in WWF. Obviously, that had become synonymous with
the 1, 2, 3
X-Pac
kid or X-Pac.
later on. Yeah. When Bret ends up getting whipped over the top rope, Shinja gets a couple of kicks in. Hakushi is constantly using the ropes to get Bret leverage on Bret, which is great, and in a similar way that Michaels uses the entire ring. Hakushi was another guy that really... I would have loved to have seen Hakushi and Michaels. I wonder if they ever got it.
Yeah. I think they had a match on like a just a Raw or something like that.
Was it a Coliseum video? Maybe.
Yeah.
Cool. Hakushi's using the ropes to choke Bret for the ref to start counting, and when he distracts the ref by saying, "Oh look, I'm sorry," Shinja takes over. Good heel heat work by the manager and singles wrestler.
He was a former wrestler, a former member of the Orient Express, for those who didn't know.
He was, yeah, he was. It's really nice to see a wrestler using the ropes to send himself into the air. It's something that we don't see in WWF much in these days. Bret goes into his 5 moves of doom before going to lock in the sharpshooter.
I was making a note of that. I was like, it's basically like John Cena, but like for these times, he has his elbow, second rope, second rope, elbow thing. The Russian leg sweep. Pile driver.
Pile driver's great.
Sharpshooter, obviously.
Yeah.
And then wait a sec.
He has made a note.
I'd written it down. I'd written it down here. Wait. I'm
going to carry on, and you're going to look for it.
Oh no, I only had. Did I have
4 moves of doom?
1, 2, 3, 4. I only had 4. What's his 5th one?
I can't remember off the top of my head. We'll have to watch out for it. We'll make a note for it for the next video. Shinja trips Bret as he's running the ropes, leading to Bret doing a suicide dive into him. A really great spot, looked rough. Bret Hart suplexes Hakushi over the top rope and goes over himself. Again, looks amazing. When they both get into the ring, Shinja holds onto Bret's legs and Hakushi delivers a standing moonsault off the apron onto Bret. I mean, this is the sort of stuff that we're spoilt with these days because we see a lot of it these days. But for this day, it's incredible wrestling.
A great moonsault to the outside as well.
Yes, there was. It was a standing moonsault off the apron. It was amazing. When they both get into the ring, Bret managed to sneak a win victory with a victory roll. A great match and a really classic match to go back and watch for this time. Hakushi bringing his Japanese style to the WWF was brilliant. Great.
I remember watching the early matches of Hakushi at my nana's house in London at the time, and just being
London,
and yeah, man, like just being really frightened of Hakushi.
Yeah, it was great
because I just didn't know what to expect. I had a ham sandwich in my mouth, and I watched Hakushi, and I was like.
You had a ham sandwich in your mouth and you watched Hakushi and went...
I did, yeah. It's a very vivid memory.
That's why you watch this wrestling podcast.
I don't remember how old I was, but I wasn't,
With your ham sandwich.
With my ham sandwich.
Apparently, as Bret is getting out of the ring, he twists his ankle. Obviously, a setup for the Jerry Lawler. It turns out to be a...
Spoiler alert!
It turns out to be not a real ankle twist. I was sort of thinking it was supposed to be, and then I wish that they'd included it in part of the match, but obviously it ends up just being a psych out for Jerry, so I can see why they did it like that now. Todd Pettingale's mullet is on the Superstar Line audio with Alundra Blaze. He talks a load of rubbish. Jerry the King comes in, wanting his match to start now. Obviously, seeing that Bret has been hurt, as getting out of the ring.
Bret's icing his leg, giving it a bit. He's milking it in.
He is, yeah. When he gets over to the phones, he hears that Bret Hart is going to be on the phones and quickly wants to go away. He gets a message from his mum on a pager, Don. Did you ever have a pager?
Yeah, I did.
I've never had a pager.
I loved pagers.
Yeah, cool.
Great.
Cool. Pagers.
I felt so cool clipping it to my belt.
Did you?
Getting a text from my mum.
Yeah. How did you write on them? Was it like the old system where you had to press one 4 times to get the letter D?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Sweet, man. Sweet.
Yeah. I mean, I only ever got messages from my mum, but it was really cool.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, it felt really cool.
What? Get yourself in now, Dom. You're being out. What message? Give us an example of a message your mum would send you.
I made you a ham sandwich. My nana and mum used to make me really good ham sandwich.
We made you a ham sandwich, Dom.
With
Come
mustard.
down. Come and grab
With
it.
mustard, like British mustard.
Yeah, sweet. British mustard. Awesome.
Yeah, real, but not spicy, but real hot stuff.
So Jerry, you must like empathise with Jerry King Lawler getting a message from his mum to go see him. Probably had a ham sandwich waiting for him.
But it wasn't his mum though, was it?
Oh, we'll get into that later on. That's great. I love that. We see footage of an armoured van apparently dropping off all the entries for the In Your House competition. So during this pay-per-view, they are going to give away a house in Florida. Fair enough. There's a big thing about it later on, so we'll talk about it a bit later on. A 2-on-1 handicap match next. Razor Ramon versus Jeff Jarrett and the Roadie. Before the match, Ramon wishes his mama a happy Mother's Day. Oh, again.
Yep, this was supposed to be a tag
apparently
match.
all the faces love the mother.
Yep.
It's supposed to be a tag match. Who is it supposed to be a tag match with?
With 1, 2, 3 kid, but
Cool.
the kid got injured, a legitimate neck injury.
He did, and a really weird segment during the show happens later on where they get him on the phone and it's a really bad line for him just to be on the show. Everyone loves the mum. All the faces love the mum. Can you imagine if Roman Reigns did this one night? Hey mum, I just want to say tonight I'm going to squash the entire roster for you. Happy Mother's Day, mum.
That'd
be a Roman promo.
I'll see you at WrestleMania for the next 10 years in the main event.
I'll be in the main event, obviously. Would that do you to Reigns more?
Oh, I already love Roman Reigns.
Oh dear, right,
you
cool.
Know that.
I'm going to have to buy you a tattoo of Roman Reigns for Christmas.
So much love. Believe that.
Believe that. Jarrett comes out whilst Vince...
I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy. Just down my arm.
Yeah. Is that inspirational?
That is. Some inspiration.
What does your tattoo say? Something about I can walk mountains or something?
No, it's like I can climb mountains.
It's good.
Which I can actually do, and also it's a Hell is for Heroes song for those that are interested in British rock music.
Awesome. Yeah. And that's one of Dom's mottos. You're my mountain. I feel like I have to climb you every time we film one of these podcasts.
Right back at you.
Right back at you. So Jarrett comes out whilst Vince talks to 1, 2, 3 kid on the phone, as obviously the kid is injured. He wants a piece of Jarrett. I didn't really feel like there was any need for it, as the call was really difficult to understand and stuff. It could have just been something that was done by the commentators. You wouldn't get that these days, would you? When a superstar's out, they're out. They're out completely. You don't get phone calls from them and stuff like that. It's weird, isn't it? It's very different. Yeah.
Strange.
JJ starts off against Razor and they can't defeat the bad guys. Razor knocks them both out, both the Roadie and Double J to ringside. And he celebrates in the ring before we really start the match. After Razor delivers a devastating clothesline over the top rope, which looks legitimately like it knocks JJ's head off.
Him.
He chases him, but obviously the Roadie interferes.
Again, that sort of agility that I talked about previously with Double J in the WrestleMania one we've just done. Previously, it comes to play here. He's really, really agile, really puts on a great showing, and I am not a great Double J fan.
No.
The Roadie, I think, puts on the best showing of everybody here.
I wasn't impressed with the Roadie, but we'll get into that at the end of the match, I think. Then Roadie gets in, and we start to see him in a bit of action. We get to see a bit of early Road Dogg as well, actually, as he gyrates after delivering a couple of elbow drops and that sort of stuff that he was doing when he was Road Dogg. We see Razor call for the Razor's Edge, but Jarrett backdrops out of it, sending him over the top rope for the Roadie to deliver a nice elbow to him. A really nice little segment there. The 2 double countouts happen in quick succession for Razor and Jarrett as they catch their breath. Eventually, Roadie comes in and delivers a knee from the top rope, which really looked a bit sloppy in my opinion. A headlock sleeper is applied, which again is a bit weak. A nice section where Razor escapes the hold. He Irish whips Jarrett into the Roadie. Good way of doing that handicap thing. He eventually gets a Razor's Edge onto Jarrett, where he holds him in the air for quite a long time. I actually expected the Roadie to come in and do that leg knocking out thing that we've seen a few times.
The clip, but
he gets a win there. And then the Roadie comes in, but as Razor lifts him up, Jarrett takes out the knee. So we do see that segment. And then Aldo Montoya, the early Hurricane, comes to help out. Yes, he does. but the heels make quick work of him. That's what happens first. And
I must have only focused on Savio.
And then a fan jumps into the ring after Aldo Montoya's been in and attacks Jarrett and the roadie. He makes quick work of them, but officials come to stop him.
I missed the first
police come to arrest him.
What was Aldo Montoya?
It isn't a fan. Aldo Montoya, it was like an early version of Hurricane.
I remember. What was he doing?
He was trying to help Razor.
What was he doing? But he had no reason to be in there.
It was a bit weird.
I missed him. I only I just...
Because the main point is the fan, who ends up being Quang.
No.
Yes.
Savio Vega.
Who was Quang.
Was he Quang?
Yeah, he was Quang, man. Savio Vega was Quang. The Poison Mist in Royal Rumble '94. Yeah, Savio Vega was Quang. But yeah, this is our first introduction to Savio Vega. It was an okay match, but we sort of mentioned this briefly in the WrestleMania 11 review. It felt like it was spinning its wheels a bit, this pay-per-view, and the stipulation to this match didn't feel as big as it should have done. I'm not massively impressed. I think Roddy's got a long way to come before he becomes the talent that he does become. I don't think he's as strong.
I really like this gimmick. I do, and I think they could have done a lot more.
No, I like the gimmick, and I think he plays the gimmick really well, but I just don't think his wrestling style is very good yet.
Okay.
Is what I'd say. Next up, an advert for the Regal King of the Ring pay-per-view, which will be the next pay-per-view that we'll be covering on this channel. So that's the one where, it's a really awful pay-per-view. The next King of the Ring is really awful. I'm really looking forward to watching that. I think it could be one of WWF's worst pay-per-views of all time.
Of all time.
So we look forward to covering that. If you can't wait to hear what we think of the King of the Ring 1995, please subscribe to the channel and you'll be updated when that is released. Jerry the King Lawler is backstage arguing Jack Tunney about wanting his match to happen now. So again, that constant sort of thread. We get a good video package actually here with Psycho Sid. So there's like that awesome slasher movie theme song going in the background, which is really cool. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
I loved it. I used to love that back in the day. Given the fact that like Hakushi creeped me out, I loved Psycho Sid's film.
It's cool, man. Yeah, it's cool. I like it. The video package sees him destroying a lot of wrestlers. It really puts him over as a serious contender in this video. There was a really nice spot in the video where he steps through Razor's pyro at the start of a match to deliver a clothesline to him, which looks pretty neat. Yeah, I love Sid team. It's great.
It was cool as a face too.
We see an advert in the crowd. I think it might be Todd Pettengill. I can't remember.
The
mullet.
Todd Pettengill.
An advert for the new Bret Hart shirt, printed on both sides. Ooh. And one size fits all. One size doesn't always fit all, Dom, does it?
No, it does not.
My t-shirts don't fit you, do the little dude?
Well, they will fit me.
They will fit you, but they will bury you.
They'll bury me.
They will bury you. Buried alive, Dom, in Anthony's Gimme a Whole Yeah wrestling t-shirt.
Kind of like when Paul Bearer was buried alive in concrete, except I'm buried alive in Anthony's sweat and body hair.
Yeah, baby. You could probably use it as a tent, to be perfectly honest. Unlike our t-shirts, which come in a variety of sizes, which you can get at
Redbubble.
Very good.
And from Patreon. Or just blooming comment on the YouTube channel and ask for one. Comment on Facebook and ask for one. We'll send you one. You look cool. You look as cool as this guy.
When I've walked around the street in Hull, people have said to me, "Oh yeah, because I see it and they go, "Oh yeah."
Amazing.
So if you want to be that idiot that gets people shouting "Oh yeah" in Liverpool to you, "Oh yeah."
Does that actually happen?
No. No, but the actual people have shouted "Oh yeah" to me in the past.
Really?
Yeah. And then they generally ride off with a bike and a cigarette in the hand.
Okay,
but yeah, no, they have. So our t-shirt is made to fit. Yay! But I really like the old WWF t-shirts, like where they was all
some
printed.
of the classic ones.
Yeah, man, a lot better than they are these days. King of the Ring qualifying match next. Nothing like a bit of promotion for the next pay-per-view. In the dark match after this show, they also had another qualifying match, which was
Bulldog.
Owen Hart and Bulldog, man.
Which was 15-minute time draw, wasn't it?
Yep. It was shown on TV later on.
Some decent dark matches, actually.
Yeah, there was a lot of dark matches in this because it was a shorter TV pay-per-view. They made the show just as long as
they even
the
had
normal.
Bigelow versus Tatanka as well.
They did, and an Undertaker match as well. I want to say about
Undertaker versus Karma.
Karma. Yes, that's right. Yeah, they did that quite a lot on the house show circuit. So this qualifying match is Mabel with Mo versus Adam Bomb. No rapping when Mabel comes in. Already turning Mabel heel here, man.
Mabel's looking early he's looking bad. He's looking like evil.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it's all right. Adam Bomb had that awesome pyro at the start, man. So it's like a gerb that like explodes and sends.
Look at you with your tech speed, your jab.
So it sends off like a plume of mushroom cloud, like a mini atom bomb in the ring. That is awesome.
Cool. He actually had a good run with this too. To be fair, as a face, he was pretty cool.
Yeah,
he had some wicked sort of top rope shoulder blocks, things like that. Looked really good.
Yeah, I thought not in this match. This match is appalling.
Well, no, I like it. He put on some good offense. I liked it.
Oh, really? No, I didn't think so.
Maybe I'm giving him too much of a chance, but I liked
it. I like Adam Bomb. I just don't think the WWF ever used him correctly, really. Adam Bomb goes to attack Mo, but Mabel hammers down on him. The bell rings and Mabel delivers an avalanche before missing a second one. Adam Bomb sends Mabel out the ring, slingshotting himself out of the ring onto Mabel. That was a neat spot. Adam Bomb shoulder barges from the top rope. As a slingshot again, really impressive for a big guy.
Yeah.
Mabel catches Adam Bomb as he tries to do a running crossbody and pins him for the win. That's it. A squash could really have probably happened on Raw.
Yeah,
I'd say it didn't need to be in this pay-per-view. It was just a squash match. The mullet, Todd, is back.
Pettingill.
And to interview Razio and Savio Vega. Razio. Razor say Savio is one of the biggest superstars from the Caribbean, and it's good to have Savio Vega on his side because he's had matches against him in the past, he brings up, and he doesn't want to be on his bad side. So, cool introduction to Savio Vega.
Yeah.
And if you like Savio Vega, King of the Ring 96 has a lot of Savio Vega in it.
He was a big talent. He actually later he had the faction Los Boricuas as well. There was a big period which we're coming up to in a few years of faction wars.
Yeah,
a lot of factions.
Yeah,
some completely pointless.
Yep, some better than others.
Job Squad, but I love them still. And some brilliant ones.
I was watching a match the other day with the Spirit Squad.
The Spirit Squad, and one Dolph Ziggler, who became one of the greatest talents in wrestling history.
I should never have mentioned the Spirit Squad.
Dolph Ziggler, baby.
So the next match is the Smoking Guns
Best
versus
super
Owen.
Kick in the business. Even better than the Sweet Chin music.
No, it's not.
Carry on.
Stupid.
Carry on.
You're just going to upset people.
This is a
now,
history of wrestling podcast, Anthony.
Talk facts, not rubbish.
It's a history of wrestling podcast. Talk about the pay-per-view.
The Smoking Guns versus Owen Hart and Yokozuna with Fuji and Cornette. Anyway. Yes. We've just seen this match at WrestleMania 11, but this is a rematch, basically. The Guns are basically at the ring when we get back, so they didn't really give the Guns any sort of fanfare. Jerry Lawler's complaining about wanting his match right now again. We see a shot of Brett backstage with an ice pack on his knee. If he was pretending, he didn't need to pretend backstage when Lawler wasn't. Okay. Suspend your belief.
Suspend your disbelief, man.
Michael Hayes playing the heel on commentary, saying Owen was the one who came up with the sharpshooter. Great, love stuff like that. You know, he invented the sharpshooter, apparently. Bart does a nice delayed slam on Owens. Bart, again, looks great in this match. He really was the strongest of the Smoking Guns at this point. And that's not to say that Billy... I think Billy became a much better wrestler later on. But yeah. Owen gets a tag on Yoko and hammers on Billy, not letting him get to his feet before he puts his knuckles into his collar for that awful Yokozuna collar move that I really don't even... It just bores me. Don't, you've got really strong hands. Oh no, don't man. Oh, don't man.
No, just giving you a massage.
Yeah, massage.
Feel the
creepy
love.
with your creepy little fingers. Okay, I don't feel any love. Oh, your girlfriend's a lucky girl. Owen takes out Billy, and when Yoko goes to attack him on the outside, ends up with a real fake-looking bump onto the turnbuckle. Looked rubbish. Although this leads to the Guns taking the lead for a bit with Owen, they celebrate too long, meaning they miss the pin. Bart misses a crossbody and flies between the ropes, and Yokozuna delivers a leg drop before pushing him in for Owen to get the pin. I quite like the bit where he flew through the ropes. That was quite funny. Whoa, no! Ah!
Oh no!
Yeah, there was no time in the match, so there's a problem. Even with some nice stuff from Owen, like it wasn't enough to save the lackluster match. They won't have time to develop it. Owen didn't do enough.
It wasn't as good as the run that we had previously, the WrestleMania one.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, still guns do very well, and it's a nice dynamic. The two teams had obviously worked for a long time together now, or they've been working for a while, but it was definitely not the match it could have been.
And this sort of carries on the trend of 1995, where it's all a bit rubbish. Although we do have one good match on this pay-per-view. Next up, an interview with Diesel. So this is what I was talking about earlier. He goes into a little bit of his real history because he'd lost his mum the year before, and how this was the first Mother's Day that he's had without his mum. That's a really, really sad story, man. Mm-hmm. That's sad stuff to bring up on a wrestling show. He brings up that
they did him to the fans as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know that was the reason. No, that's of course not the reason, but
no. His lower back has been hurting since Henry O'Godwin attacked him, financed by Ted DiBiase. After the attack on Shawn Michaels, Sid has angered him even more. Diesel with that weird relationship. Diesel and Shawn with that weird relationship where we never sort of we see him fighting and then see him caring about each other again. Next match is Jerry Lawler versus Bret Hart. We see the ring with Lawler in it and a young, attractive model. Again, as we talked about in our WrestleMania 11, WWF using women that are very attractive to sell to the fans. Lawler introduces everyone to his mother.
Which will become more and more frequent.
Yeah, absolutely. So it clearly wasn't his mother, was it, Dom? It was... it could have been his daughter for all we know. Yes, she says she wants Jerry to beat him so she can beat Helen Hart, which is just rough. Jerry asks for a kiss off her and receives one on the cheek. I would have loved to have seen a lip kiss at that point. I think it is wholly justified. Would have been really... It would have been. The kiss on the cheek is fine. Can I have a kiss? But like, if she'd actually kissed him on the lips, it would have been one of them like, ugh, that's really weird. But at the same time, we know it's not real at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they probably wouldn't have gotten away with that.
I would have loved it.
They probably wouldn't have got away with that with the family.
She was beautiful. Beautiful woman. And Bret Hart says that his knee isn't hurt.
My knee isn't hurt.
So yes, it wasn't her. Muppet. So he walks to the ring, taunting a limp. So like pretending to limp, and when Jerry realises that he's not his face does a great job of selling it, doesn't it? No. Which leads us into the match, and he spends the next 5 minutes basically running away from Bret as Bret sort of squashes him in the ring. Eventually, Lawler pile drives Bret to stop him, but then he's back up a few seconds later. Never undersell a power driver, but then he delivers his own pile driver.
Strongest move, but it's only
one. It looked great.
It's only one of Bret's 5 moves to doom, or 4 moves to doom.
Then Shinja comes to the ringside and ends up distracting the ref when he gets bumped out of the ring. His foot gets caught in the ring ropes, and whilst Bret is trying to pin Lawler, obviously the ref is stuck in the ring ropes. Hakushi comes in and delivers an axe handle off the top rope, followed by 2 diving headbutts. Yeah.
Looks brutal.
When the ref gets in, Lawler gets the pin. Lawler beating Bret Hart. Yeah, no, it was good. And it sort of carried on their feud, because obviously a few years ago they had the start of the feud. Lawler left WWF for a brief time and we're moving back into it. A Lawler feud has got to be better than a I mean, I'm not necessarily saying the matches are going to be A-star, but it's way better than the Backlund feud at Hart.
Yes.
I think they've really misstepped with Hart, with the Backlund stuff, you know. They really did.
Man, again, what I remember of it is very different to what I'm watching now. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I used to think it was a ferocious feud. I used to think that they were like
Bret should have been in the main
enemies,
scene, man.
Bitter enemies.
Yeah.
But looking back at it, it was kind of time filler. You know.
But why wasn't Bret facing Diesel or Michaels at this point?
Yeah.
I suppose we see enough of that later on and earlier on. Hakushi and Lawler try to double team Hart, but end up attacking each other. Hitman's angry with the loss, though. It's just a match. So before the next match, they give away a house. They get Rakes to mix letters, call up the number to announce the winner after taking out the letter, and the number that they've called is wrong. Live TV. Then the cheer down the phone. Turns out it was actually the Wyatt compound that was selling. Yeah, do you remember that House of Horror match?
Yes.
Like that match, that house was actually for sale for like not very much.
My highest hopes for Bray Wyatt's world title push.
That was part of his world title.
Dashed in
House of Horrors.
in one
Burnt down.
with a fridge.
I wonder what it was worth, because I know it was worth like it was really cheap. It was like $56,000 or something for the house. I mean, it's just a very basic house, but I wonder what it was worth after the match. I wonder
Probably
if
not much more.
Probably not.
Was it a fridge or something he used?
A fridge, yeah, probably something like that. Yeah. Okay, cool. Next match is Diesel versus Psycho Sid with Ted DiBiase for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. A promo with Sid at the start, breathing heavily, saying 3 words in each breath. Don't you go, I will destroy Diesel. It was cool though. It sort of built up that sort of
kind of crazy,
scariness. Yeah, I liked it. It's cool. Diesel will become a victim as he meets the ruler of the world. When Sid comes out, he starts having a go at Vince.
Like he's going, I am the master.
Yeah.
And the ruler.
Yeah.
Of the world.
Yeah. See, 3 words in each breath. He goes out having a go at Vince McMahon straight away when he gets to ring. Call me psycho to my face. Call me psycho to my face. Yeah. Like a bad Darth Vader. Cool. Into the match. Sid and Diesel. The match plays out as you'd imagine. It's awful. Argue with me. Argue different. Sid versus Diesel.
It's like a powerbomb fest. It's like,
no, it's not.
Well, they both
no, if there was a powerbomb in it would have been interesting. It's clothesline and punches and kicks and rubbish. At the end, they hit one move. In the entire match, they hit one goddamn move. Sid starts focusing on damage back and rib of Diesel, ramming him into the ring post. They run around the ring with more clotheslines and punches. I would rather watch a Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns match than watch this absolute garbage. Right? They don't have any wrestling.
I'd rather watch.
They just have finishers, but they have something.
I'd rather watch Sid now and Kevin Nash now.
No, that would be.
Than watch another Brock Lesnar.
I'd even rather watch a Hogan match than this.
Yeah, okay.
It's awful.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Sid locks in a camel clutch. Sid starts selling the comeback for Diesel. Well before Nash starts to get out of it. Really weird. He starts telling the audience to shut up, blah, blah, blah. Speaking of Hogan, we get the Hogan leg drop from Sid onto Diesel. Yeah, it's alright. Then back into a camel clutch, because clearly that's exciting, and clearly that's what we want to see in our wrestling. Let's just hold him in a goddamn camel clutch forever. We'll break out of it, we'll have a punch, or a clothesline.
And then, hit a powerbomb.
Sid delivers a 1-arm chokeslam, and it's the first time we've seen either of the wrestlers leave the feet. He then delivers a powerbomb to Diesel, which wasn't the best looking powerbomb in the world, before taking his time to cover. Diesel eventually gets the jackknife powerbomb onto Sid for the pin. The tagger comes in to break it up, but Diesel... $1 million
corporation as well. Ted DiBiase was there.
Diesel wins by DQ. Let's talk about the match before we talk about the aftermatch. That was awful. There was nothing to it.
Wasn't the best.
I mean, I've tried to be good about Diesel.
No, you haven't.
I have. I've tried to be nice about Diesel.
No, you haven't.
He's put on some good matches the last 2 pay-per-views with Shawn Michaels. It might have been more Michaels. But this is diabolically bad, man. I hate it. I hate it. Diesel, Bam Bam comes down for the save.
That was a nice moment, but Bam Bam looks so awkward in his face.
Yeah.
And he's like clapping Diesel.
Yeah. Good job.
He doesn't know what to do.
Well, I wouldn't have known what to do after that rubbish match. Why would he clap someone? Anyway, and Bam Bam was such a great talent for a bigger guy as well. Obviously, Bam Bam's turned against $1 million corporation now. Rubbish main events. It was like watching Roman and Brock go at it with no Suplex City, no Superman punches, and no F5. It was rubbish. And it was a poor way to end this pay-per-view. And the pay-per-view is rubbish, apart from one match. But it's not the end. In the network version is included an advert. It's like an old WWE advert, and it's cool to see stuff like this. I love stuff like this. It's an advert with two aliens talking about destroying Earth. They see the wars that we've caused.
I think I saw that on VHS. The VHS version.
And the environmental damage that humans have done to the environment. And the destruction of Earth is halted by these aliens when they discover there is hope for humans due to WWF. Oh, maybe there's hope for them yet, I think they're saying.
Vince loved writing that advert, didn't he?
What?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
But I love stuff like that. It's good fun to watch.
It's a bit like saying that if you watch the Gimme a Whole Year Wrestling podcast,
then we won't destroy Earth.
You will have whiter teeth.
There will be world peace.
You will have world peace. You'll have
longer... The sun's come out behind me.
That's just the way... It's just the effect you have on the world, isn't it, Anthony?
It is. What did you think about this pay-per-view, dude?
1.5.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, maybe 1. Best match. Yeah, 1.5 because of one match. The best match easily was Hakushi Brett. And the best performer? Hakushi, I completely agree. I really enjoyed watching him, and him bring his oriental style to the WWF is exciting.
Great.
Thank you very much for watching this podcast. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit that thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel, and visit Facebook and Twitter for more great, awesome content. We'll try and get this content out to you more frequently because we love it. Thank you.
We love you. And keep it most emphatically gay.